Yene Openi Farouk Al-Wahab ending international diplomatic consultant in Bisanum. What is at the center of all these Russian attempts to say Ukraine for eti womo womo eni womo benya. Openi yemakwa ba no pay. Na ebom tisa no pay.
Bibia okay.
Mini ushia o eye bi ase na me bo me humbo ne se me fro na so aso ahye kakra ntimi anyone share ni nkomo Kate ya ye call last Saturday wo
so sorry. I said the mood was very sad and
Indeed.
It was very bad. So
Indeed.
all of us,
Indeed.
no be I worried.
Indeed.
Sorry
Indeed.
about that.
Oh, no problem. Ukraine, any Russians and some no. What is at the core of it?
Okay, it needs a little bit of a historical background. The problem is that it's nothing but Russia. They seek to say, sir, if any country would join the European Union as a member and function like European Union member state, not Ukraine. That is actually the undertone, and I say the diplomatic understanding of the whole exercise. And they said Russia feels that Ukraine was an integral part of the UDSSR, and for that matter, Russian Federation. Russia sees that Ukraine was the hub of the Russia in terms of their arms and then their possessions and their nuclear warheads. Everything of Russia at the time and a Ukrainian member of the Federation. So if you recall, in 1986, whereas America, especially, and in the West, infiltrated the camp of Russia on the backside, on the blind side again. At that time, Boris Yeltsin and then also Mikhail Gorbachev. Na West for deceive because that was the dangerous arsenals, Russian nuclear reactors, war Ukraine, Chernobyl. And the sober watch here, the Chernobyl surprisingly, before say Russia, not Chernobyl, reactor number 4, one was the deadly ones, blew off, making Russia a bit light. At that time, Ukraine was still part. But later, the Russian Federation in 1991, Ukraine decided said they will not be part. And at that time, the republics, just like how we used to have the republics, and I'm joined by the Republic of Ghana. The republics of Russia, the first country I know in Afghanistan, and Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, now Russia for and so diet. Say because the Russian Federation, when it broke down, Belarus, Azerbaijan, and the Yugoslavia, and the backup of Russia Federation, no part of the Federation, no back home as a Russian pro-ally. Yugoslavia also began a problem in 1990, 1991. And you see Western influences and breaking all the republics of Yugoslavia. You began a war, Serbia. Albania ten home, Montenegro ten home, Kosovo or ten home, Ubiate ten home. Russia who said, Wabaya one alone. Russia who said, the strength of the UDSSR, which Ukraine was an integral partner. Next said Ukraine for Chernobyl na a diffuse year. Ukraine for no crime politician before 91 Lombaji independence, and now Marty who say independent nation there, yeah, self-determination. Now Ukraine are then watching why are they only Western or a delay underground. Until that time, Putin was not in the picture. Putin had been a mayor. Putin had been a district councillor. Putin had been a KGB boss, or by a whole lot of things. And the Putin who said the real pro-Russia, the real ally of Russia, the whole Soviet Union disintegrated. Abeka Russia is to Russia. Na country be to say Omo Republic to say Chechnya. Whom are Omo used to Omo deadly fights. Omo tries to Omo under the dissent. Russia crashing Roma as we speak. When neutralize Rome citizenless. And Russia will be a free Chechnya. We need passport. Where a Russian, we need ID card or a stateless, but or Russia won't even put me. San and compare so many Ukraine for year, but Ukraine is too big for Russia to do that. ɛna Russia fan kwan bi sɛ saa na ɛte deɛ yɛbɛ attack Ukraine. But before say we nyina bi di no na yɛwɔ Ukraine presidents a ɔmaba a ɔmo more or less pro-Russian. Ɔmo more or less ɔmo nya sika with the federation. Obi ti sɛ Petro Poroshenko. Petro Poroshenko no ɔno na na yɛ confectionery products milk ne nneɛma no. The president he is more than $2 billion worth. No, we get too much. Now, no, some of them no pro-Russia. Inti si ati angwaji independence krana. Selano, yani Kremlin, ewo bibika. But Usha Zelensky mo, Volodymyr Zelensky mo ne, some of them no, omu ye anti-Russia, omu pro-Europe. Eno na hit Russia up. Inti Crimea, any the basis say. Crimea part no, now woman kasani pro-Russians, but the border of Ukraine no and go for as Ukrainians. So the citizenry on the borderline with Russia's border with Ukraine no, were screaming and shouting because here communist proper communists. Woman a share a warness anyamanu. Do pure communism. No one per se European integration. So they were shouting and screaming at Putin said, "Ome redeem woman." So Putin used that one as a basis. And Russia being a member of the NATO, no, the whole Europe, and the Atlantic forces in now want Russia say, "Onjai they all quiet annexation of a particular part, like a region." And it's Ghana. Na Burkina Faso say, "Omo Babeje Brown region," and I say, "Omo Babeje your friend say the Upper East." Sa pepe na Russia no, oye na dwen say. Togo, Ghana feels a citizen, or Aflawu, and as a citizens, or Lumia, a Hoya, a Quakochi, at the Amawum. And that is what Russia did. In 2014, Russia annexation of the Crimea. Of course, within the forces, Kogu and Coin or Giom was, of course, with the support of the citizens of Crimea and as Russia side, and the European Union, unanimously, Omopam said Russia a member of the NATO, no, Omasizuomo. But Rome sees you as a member of the NATO. No. There's something that was also called the NATO-Russia Council. Council media, Oman Briki. Name of a membership of NATO, no, Oman Council, that is the part of the council. Name of Oman suspension of Russia. Into the build-up from 2014 till now, no, Oman who said, European, who said, yes, Russia for 8 months next Crimea. But say in Ukraine now, one person be part of European Union because Russia will still say they will be naked. Now, no, omo visibility no, be naked in sanity there. Countries in Belarus, Macedonia, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and all the countries in Ukraine, Piazza or Johnny European Union, one thing. And then Ukraine start table in the membership of the European Union. What table 2024? What table membership? And then they want to join completely in 2030. And Russia still said this move in 2024, in 2 years to come. No, so when we a member of European Union country, Russia will therefore be a little bit in crisis because of what? Firepower. And the firepower already, na Ukraine. Already, inside Ukraine, Russia firepower ni bikuti ho. Ne mom chano bi na kasa na diffuse anya Russia phobia. Ye ni sa nuclear arsenals no ho. And Putin is a hardliner. Now, some of these things in your West Africa say, why in the West, or ye member and permanent member of the your friends, the Council of UN Council, Security Council. Russia, only terms of tenure of government. She said the tenure of government, your friend is Putin, or call the terms we are, or chance or the Medved at Bayern, or then Bayern, or Sion, or no move to the prime ministerial seat, and or turn the office in the presidential palace. One man now call in the Kremlin, no pretty a vice president's office, which of course they don't have. So they were using the prime minister. And no man, what now? But after 4 years, you collected the part because all those boys, and the boys. Into Ukrainian businessmen and women now, Omobesha Europe, especially in UK, be invest here. Omo na Putin feel say omo undermining the authority, omo undermining the secrecy, omo force so the other Russian federations still to continue to break and support European Union. And no be kumfumbi Obama omo gas ne sa pilo your friends the president de kunkum UK so far 3 or so our United Kingdom and no all the warnings are British investigation and see. So Putin is calling the bluff of Europe, and he's calling the bluff of the Americans, and he's calling the bluff of the Western. But interestingly, and you are known member country of a NATO now, or no, I withdraw from the NATO, and I say you're suspending. France acquired the Charles de Gaulle in 1986 because the American forecast said after the Empire World War, third one, Obian declared the warheads, Obian declared the atomic near the Charles de Gaulle said no, or reveal France warheads or withdraw France from NATO. It is not the first time a member of the Security Council in NATO and a rush. And NATO, as we speak, Putin there as we speak, only there, he sees himself say, our backup, our Security Council, that is Russia. And if you would recall, the Russia army plus the Chinese army is bigger than the whole European Union and the whole Europe population of 840 million. China army is 1.2 million. Russia army supporting China, they are bigger than almost the whole world's army put together. And their mind is that Russia need provoke. But me, from where I sit, I know say China is sitting quietly because if you look at the Security Council, China had always voted in favor of Russia. Russia had always voted in favor of China against the other four: the British, the Americans, the French. What they said. And this 5 and another, yes, a visitor that could be Ghana, a non-permanent member of the Security Council, become my Omuni is 6. But the 5 from Nankasa there, 2 Russia and China and the Russia can't talk. No, see European Union, why you prepared or provoke or percent the final bomb blasted. But it will not lead, as most of the journalists in the country across the world say, this will lead to Third World War. That's nonsense. There cannot be any Third World War that is called convention because Russia only colonies to Africa. And the African countries now where you colonize, either the British or the French, We are now independent sovereign nation called Ghana, Republic of Ghana in 1960. In the next few days, we are 65 years. So British Kokan and Tokwa, they cannot come and pull Ghana army. Won't even pull the Kenyan army. Won't even pull the Zimbabwe army. So that kind of, it's like the amount forecast, there will be a wave. It is not. And to Putin, who said, if he becomes a fighter, he would deal with the single European country member as it is. And indeed, British alone cannot stand Putin, regardless of the forces and the Royal Army, because the size doesn't come even up to the numbers of the Russian forces. The quality in terms of weaponry, the braveness, the UK knows, they can be very good in the air power. The France that can fight on the ground troops, the France will not go to Russia to mess up because they don't want Paris to be destroyed. And to Putin here so clever, say, the next border, the countries are is Poland. Poland would declare non-aligned in terms of fight. We're a Red Cross nation into obey the red and white flag. Canada, red and white flag. Austria, red and white flag. Switzerland, red and white flag. And so those countries that are not prepared to fight, and they will not go into fight. Germany is one. And Germany is the biggest ally in terms of economic power or European Union, on the Central Bank of Europe or Frankfurt. So if Germany themselves Second World War, they don't hold weapons to fight. They go as either mediators and as Omoko or a NATO member, but Maya medical. But Germany does not hold weapons to go to the front line because of their history, First and Second World War. And to Putin, one should not make a mistake, sir. The whole NATO can fight Putin. They cannot fight Putin, and they know they cannot. Because individual countries, if you bring Belgium, what is the head of NATO now? Belgium's size of army, what is it? It's not even up to the size of Ghana army. France will not go to NATO and fight with NATO because they themselves, they also withdrew from NATO. And you know, so if it is America, look at where America is and where Russia is. But if America, they will not go to war with Russia because they know, say, any European member country like Italy, you're from the Western allies now, only America for any UK, any France, Second World War as one part. The Axis power nations are joined anti-Europe, anti-America. Italy or fighting against America during the Second World War. Japan or fighting against America during they were supporting the German, your friend is Nazi powers of Hitler. And the countries in the West, what Timako developed, and then they created the problem between China and Japan because China in the Second World War was fighting for the United States, was fighting for your friend is was fighting for France, was fighting alongside with UK. And to Second World War now, China for anti-Mamwa, the West now more China. Japan and no China war confrontation because of say ne Japan support to Germany and against China as to support to West no omu ebupu China omu pu omu akunkum omu no omu kom peki the whole omu land ekọ Australia so called dominate say omu call this Australia no the West now ko boa China. That is why China withdrew and became a communist. Into a communist no one who the communist brother that is Russia obeboa no. And if the world should make a mistake, say there's a fight today, the world should not make a mistake, say European Union plus the NATO. Who can NATO? Again, or Atlantic member, NATO. They know we need dama, we need shade, we need weapon, we need tiabo threat, we need helicopter, and we need jet. I'll be fly from here. Nigeria, so a NATO member, only me, we need baby a bit more. Supported the NATO. Into the NATO membership countries, the functional ones, the few ones that in Europe. And the few ones that are in Europe, Putin can take care of them within a second. Romania, Bulgaria, okay, and the Czech Republic, Poland, only the woman in South, because even about 10 years ago, I stand to be corrected, the pro-Russian government, anti-Russian government, joining European Union with Poland, Putin a year Independence Day of the Soviet Union, of course, they are former allies. Omo invite you, Omo baby. But when they were leaving, the Prime Minister, the President, the Defense Minister, the Police IGP, all the top hierarchy, Russia, Putin cleverly invited all of them to attend the function. When they left Russia, they left Kremlin, and they left your friends in Moscow. At the tip, entering Polish border, and unknown Arsenal, Omu Prime Ministers said team. These were the people I know and pro, even anti-Russia, join European Union. Because Poland now a full member, a full European Union member, only holding the formation of the European Union Liga. And it's Russia for why skeptical about countries the republics na omoko ente Ukraine can European Union next year said European Union, especially Germany, especially Czech Republic, France many are the idea benefited from Russia the gas Ukraine so were the same gas na obetima supply and the sanity they engage you into fight, you engage you into risky business. Now European Union to say Germany onye ehun says and Russia to the gas ma bibia to atwa. Why is Putin doing this at this time? Because all the world wars no makunyina a Cold War. Cold War is whereby said a winter time and a fight in Ijinam. Winter time in Ijinam is here. What's our COVID? We soldiers cannot move, we military cannot move, police cannot move. Omenina under condition of COVID there will be a drain yarea no. And this one no military ko mo yarea. At what point in a military in Crown, Obetima Kwakwa was at awum, and I said the citizen of the whole country, Yatu Mogasim. And primarily, the European Union member states, citizens, Omon pet the air question said, Mobiania Putin on and the baby, so any Ukraine for any issue, let him go ahead. But if again indeed said Momoko support member can nationals they are not in support of anything called military aggression, and NATO cannot attack Russia. And the Russia they put in intimidation, machoism, and trying to bluff. Said the American for a moment to her, many Europe no year they have been Europe. Some way a member Mombra. And indeed, make her baby now, Ghana from Penphobia Chesia. And there was a fierce argument say, American, Putin to many American call. What are we talking about? What do we understand? Putin as we speak, our rough tactics as your friend members, which are them? One of them is Cuba. Cuba had been an American or an enemy. Russia for Putin Amakwine, Etimi at the vessels, the warheads, at the Akwakusi, your friends say, Cuban waters for the past 5 years, and the warheads in FAC Florida. But the land, and I said, baby, or territorial, Cuba. Cuba is unfriendly to United States.
Yeah.
And if there should be anything, Putin can still attack from Cuban soil. Only Nicaragua, Hugo Chavez knew, but still, the same pro-Russian government. Almost better supported from the North American side. Canada, only Ukraine, your brothers, Nicaragua. Autonomy may be big, and it's also take it on the North American regions. Which are they? The Caribbean side, and there's nothing there. Omo Bikra Niami, Omia 10. Texas and Caicos, Niami, 48. Into the 48 members, Nekoko. Barbados, Niami, only 2,000. Trinidad and Tobago, Niami, only 2,000. And all those, the whole Caribbean, and Kahu, Jamaica, Niami, only 20, even 5,000. And woman who said, Sekoba said North America na, Echo Latin American side, in Kakrano. Nicaragua forbid my inquisition, and they are supporting Russia, and then other Russian governments, other part of the world. Bearing in mind that Serbia up to now, Serbia as in Belgrade, they are still in support of Russia. And if there's any escalation, the Serbians are still very good fighters. On the back, Cuba be back, Nicaragua be back. There are other countries that only silent, but they are pro-Russian support. Communist countries around, communist parties in Iran, they don't are pro-Russian. And it is a little bit dicey issue, but one must understand before you deal with this subject. But ironically, to say the Russia, they are just intimidating Ukraine not to be a membership of the European Union as it gets closer in 2024. No other thing, nothing more than that.
Opening Ebedoasi and a pay for the historical antecedents how they are my and a pay eligibility. So
now, my main fan can say, yeah, not maybe I'm more for no more resource persons and more preferable.
Yeah,
security analysts in this country so called no. Yeah, now I beg to say, ma omo more journalists, and of course we understand maybe I said Mufri Banti topics within Europe and other parts of the world, and I am a fault. We need too much because we are not used to war and sections. But security analysts are more free, and some can be supremely outrageous. Supremely outrageous. It doesn't fall the basis of the diplomacy. They don't understand the diplomatic antecedent of it. They don't understand the military and the historical background. And sometimes, so mubabake kanyama. Yeah, I'm also processing here. In any case, yeah, I'm also check on facts. Some of them money better say Russia ne American crab na Ghana crab World War BBC. Me pacho me di sa akonya we be man say security analyst so far now almost say you're expert in security and there's nothing say oh wait there minimum information and I say my mind didn't say be new the sabi yenya ayikakra European war, European Union, European history, and as you know matna any school with them with some of these things. So we need history now OTTBA it is a Ghana army crown a American among Mako. Ghana a sovereign nation, TNT weapons say, ye call and will be a quack, ye call support, and Tissa. And the Yamin come on in Yamin Yajuma. World War BNC, Russia, the BNC, European Union, Common Talk, I will mass, but for me to let you know, say, European Union, all making attempt. There's no European country, or by an agency on Russia, it will never happen. It's in Yamin come on.
Ebedo say, Sir Odinchi Mui Abre and a pay eligibility.